how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So guess what? I have something pretty juicy for you guys today. We're going to be talking about ED3. Now, this is a boss at the moment. Well, this is a group of bosses. This is a dungeon that will make you an absolute fortune at the moment. And for anyone who has seen my previous video, which was up maybe day before yesterday, then you will know probably that I included this boss as one of the best 5 ways at the moment to make money in this game. However, after that, I had quite a few people message me in Discord, send me a direct message or ask me in game even for a little bit more information on ED3. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully you guys enjoy. This video is basically going to be me talking about how good ED3 is money-wise, talking about how you can make a ridiculous amount of money, and then I'll quickly touch on the bosses, go over very quickly the mechanics and what you need to do in those bosses to get through. It's not going to be a guide, guys, just so you know. This is not like a ED3 guide. It absolutely isn't. Maybe I'll make one of those in the near future if you do want one, but this video is going to be more like the one that I did on Seryu when I talked about how good money that was at that point. So at the moment, ED3 is absolutely insane money, so now we're going to be talking about that one instead. So let's get started. But before we do, of course, if you do like the video, then make sure to leave a like on the video and it'll get suggested to other people that way, so you help me out quite a lot. And of course, if you are new, then do subscribe to the channel. Hell of a lot more RuneScape content coming very soon. And also, if you fancy supporting the channel a little bit more and you would like to get some perks while you do so, then you can always click that join button, buy the subscribe button, and get some perks while you do so there as well. Anyway, that is enough of that. Let's jump into the video. Alright, so pretty much putting it simply, ED3 right now is incredible money. It is so damn good. And to be fair, it is probably better in solo. It is probably a lot better in solo, as the drop rates as you jump from solo to duo to trio change a hell of a lot. But for solo at ED3, getting 2 kills an hour, you are going to be making a ridiculous amount of money. But how? Why is ED3 at the moment so damn good? Well, to be honest, most of you guys watching probably already know that the Eldritch crossbow at the moment is ridiculous in price. Since Raksha, all range gear, the expenses of range gear has just flown through the roof. Greater Ricochet is insane, a massive buff to range. That ability alone is over 1 bill at the moment. But we're not talking about Raksha, we're talking about ED3. And the Eldritch crossbow is by far the most inflated item in the game at the moment, in my opinion, when it comes to gear. Like, it is ridiculous how much this thing has risen since Raksha released. Hell, it is at the moment, price checking in Discord, which is incredibly accurate by the way, 2.95 bill, so 2,950,000,000. So probably by the time this video's up, we probably would have broken 3 bill for a freaking crossbow. Not that long ago, this thing was selling literally just for around about 1 bill. It might have even been less at one point. I'm not 100% sure on my memory on that, but it has gone up so damn much. And that's just because range at the moment is probably one of the best styles going. So you can take advantage of this, and the way you can do that is if I quickly put in a price check for ED3 in the price checker again, every single piece except for the stock at the moment is it's over 1 bill. Everything is over 1 bill. The crossbow stock is 950 mil, so pretty much 1 bill, and it'll probably sell for more than that anyway once you get this out tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the secret to ED3 at the moment. It makes you so much money because every rare drop that you can get from Ambassador is going to be over 1 bill. I mean, you can get the Shadowy Egg, which is currently the cheapest drop, but that is also going for 777 mil the last time it sold. So hell, it definitely can make you an absolute ton of money. Now, that is pretty much all you guys that know how to do ED3, or the people who are very confident in PVM, probably need to know. So if you have got to this point and you're like, okay, that's it, I'm done, that perfectly makes sense. So all you need to do now for you guys is just leave a like on the video, and then yeah, no, but basically guys, that's it. That's ED3 is absolutely insane money because of the Eldritch crossbow at the moment. It is 3 bill, each piece is 1 bill. And also, guys, you have a 20% chance to double that. So you can go from having a 1 bill drop on a 1 in 55 drop rate, and then having a 20% chance to turn that into 2 bill. If you are doing that on drop rate and it doesn't double, you are making around about 34 mil. If it does double, you're doubling that all the way up to 78. So yeah, it's a hell of a lot of money, and this isn't including all of the trash loot that you're going to get in between runs. Even just running a whole Elite Dungeon 3, you're still be making some money on that as well. So that'll probably be covering your costs and a little bit extra, and then when you finally get that drop, boom, you're going to be celebrating. That's going to be so much money injected into your bank. So hopefully you guys that do go now and do ED3, I really hope that you all get that nice juicy 20% double on your drops. And of course, if you do, don't forget that I teleblocked, so I deserve a split, but No, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So now from what we're going to do in this video at this point is just quickly talk over the bosses on what you need to do. The first two bosses are fairly easy to do. Ambassador gets a little bit sort of struggle, and it's a very big DPS check. And to be fair, sometimes I am not that good at Ambassador. And honestly, guys, I am really not that fast at running the ED3, but I can still do 2 runs in an hour. So if I can do it, you can do it. And if you feel like you can't just yet, then you'll definitely be able to practice and get it as well. But yeah, for anybody who is interested in figuring out some quick, touching up on the mechanics of the bosses, then let's carry on to that now. Alright, so the first boss, which is the Crassian Leviathan. This boss is, to be honest, this boss is easy. You will not have a problem with this boss, in all honesty. As long as you have decent gear, you'll be absolutely fine. But I mean, if you don't have decent gear anyway, then you probably shouldn't be an ED3 just yet, because the Ambassador is very, very difficult, and it is a lot of DPS checks, like I said before. So anyway, the first boss is fairly easy to get used to. There's a few mechanics that you'll have to watch out for, but once you've got them down, you'll have no trouble with this boss whatsoever. There's nothing about if it takes a little bit too long to do when you're first getting out. It's not going to sort of punish you for it. You'll be absolutely fine. You barely use any food here. The only time you'll ever die is if you just miss on like one mechanic. So don't worry about it too much. Let's quickly touch over how this works. Alright, so once you've killed off these 2 shitty wizards here, you're going to want to run through, and basically you don't have to teleport out here. You can if you want, but if you can keep 100% adrenaline, just run through, surge down, and the door will shut. This will stop any of the other little minions from following you through, because that just becomes a pest otherwise. If you want to be safe, teleport out, go to the adrenaline crystal, and come back in. But you should be absolutely fine at this point to just kill this boss off. So, what you're going to want to do is run down. The very first ability that he is going to do is the one you can see on screen now. It's a big massive beam of like mess. I don't even know what it is. It's like it's spitting at you all the way down the bottom of the arena. If you're in that, you're dead. That's pretty much it. If you're in that, you're dead. So stand off to the side. But don't death swiftness straight away. If you want, you can use natural instinct so you can build up very, very quickly, but just don't death swiftness straight away. There's a reason for this, and the reason that you would do this is literally as soon as he finishes that big massive attack where you can now stand in the middle again, you're going to want to move to the middle and just drop your death swiftness here. This will just allow you to keep this available to you while you're running around the arena, because you're going to be running from side to side. However, throughout the whole fight, just pray your soul split. Don't pray anything else. Just keep soul split on, and of course have your overloads, all that good stuff, all your buffs, whatever you've got, bring that, use it all. And as soon as your death swiftness is down, then you're going to want to use your adrenaline potions, and you're going to want to just basically put out as much DPS as you can. Pick a side to stand on. You'll see here that I've moved over to the side, but my death swiftness is still in the middle. I am on the edge of the death swiftness, so I'm still in it and getting that bonus damage. The next thing that's going to happen is the Leviathan is going to swing his head from one side to the other, and if you get hit by this, it will do a lot of damage, and to be honest, if you don't move out of it quick enough, you will probably die as well. This is the only other mechanic, really, that is going to kill you. So you're going to want to wait for him to decide which side he's going to swing his head on, and then once he started doing that, just run to the other side. Because you've put your death swiftness in the middle, you will never leave the death swiftness. You'll be absolutely fine. You can just run to the other side and stand where I'm standing. As you can see, I am still in death swiftness. When he swings his head all the way to the side, he's going to come back the other way as well. So just run back to the other side, make sure you stay in your death swiftness, do as much damage as you can. At this point, he will just keep swinging his head every now and again. Just make sure you keep an eye out for which side he's starting on, and then just instantly run to the other side and just dodge it that way. Once you've done this for a little while, you may not get it all down very, very quickly. You will have to surge over to the other side. He will take his head through the little gap that you can see. He will come out the other side. So you'll just surge and blade and dive across. If you get stunned, then you will have to free him. So you can always anticipate before you go. And then when you get over there, he's going to basically repeat what you've just done on this side. Big massive thing of damage through the middle of the arena, and then swinging his head side to side. More DPS, and then that's the boss done. Alright, so the second boss, and probably the most annoying boss in my opinion in this dungeon, and it's the Taraket the Necromancer. This boss is kind of difficult, but once you've got used to the way the mechanics work, it's not hard, but I don't know, I'm not very good at it, and to be honest, I could probably get better just by getting a few upgrades like the salve amulet and stuff like that, but it's just effort and quests. But that's not the point. The point is, this is how the boss works. So you're going to start this with Protect from Magicom. You're going to run in and you're going to want to drop your death swiftness pretty much straight away. And once you've done this, there's a few things that you need to keep an eye out for. First things first, when he shoots big red fireballs at you, that's magic. Eventually, he's going to switch to range, but you'll see him use a death swiftness and it looks exactly like yours. He will use range attacks at that point. They look like little white lines. Very easy to notice the difference with. There's no big red fiery things flying at you at this point. So when you see that happen, change to Protect from range. But before this even happens, you're going to have a few things happen first. So you're going to drop your death swiftness. You're going to do as much damage as you can to Taraket. Then you're going to see a portal appear. Now, for the people who are learning, kill the portal. Don't worry about trying to phase him just yet. Kill that portal off. and then go back to him and then phase him. Once you've gotten to a certain amount of health, he will fly off over to the far side of the room, and then he will summon this big fat bloat thing. Now you're going to want to kill this as fast as you can and then get back on Terraket. Some point during this, he would have switched between magic and gone back to range, and then during when you're killing this, he might switch back to mage, so just keep an eye out for the switches. Always kill the portals when they spawn, as these will summon skeletons, which will just 1, ruin your day, but 2, they can heal him as well, so you want to keep those down. Once you've killed the bloat, once you've killed the portals, get back on Terraket and do a load of damage to him again. He will start flying off again, but to the other side of the room, and then he will summon a huge bloat, and this one will summon undead as well. So you're going to want to kill this down as fast as you can. If you have Death Swiftness up again by this point, then drop that, and make sure you DPS this as much as you can. I even Vuln Bomb it, just literally get rid of the freaking thing. Once you've killed that off, kill any portals that are around, and then kill any of the undead as well. Once you've done that, you want to go back on Terraket and just DPS him down. If you've got Death Swiftness at this point, if you haven't used it already, then drop that and just focus on DPS. The next thing that's going to happen is he will say some words. I don't actually know exactly what they are, but he will say something, and then these big line of ghosts will appear. When the ghosts spawn in a big line in front of you, then all you want to do is either surge through them, or escape, or bladed dive, something like that, or you could literally just step off to the side so they don't hit you. Make sure they don't hit you. If they do, they can do a lot of damage. If you surge through them, you take nothing, and if you escape through them, all that sort of stuff, then you're absolutely fine. This will happen twice. There will be one set first, which you're going to want to either surge through or bladed dive through, and then when the second one comes, you're going to want to surge back to your Death Swiftness, or bladed dive back to Death Swiftness, whichever one's not been used. So don't use them both from the first set, otherwise you're going to have a little bit of running around to do. Okay, once the ghosts have been spawned, you may get one more portal depending on your kill time, and then pretty much just DPS down Terraket and finish the kill. This is for a fairly slow kill. This is for a kill that you probably need a little bit more practice with, like myself. I'm really not that good at this boss. I can get it down, I don't struggle, I don't die, but I'm pretty slow, I know I am. So guys, in the comments, let me know what your kill time is. Just put me to shame. What is your kill time solo at this boss? For the guys who are incredible at PvM and have a really good DPS but maybe haven't done this boss yet, you can probably skip quite a lot of the mechanics here. You can probably go straight through and phase him without killing the first portal. You can then kill it off while he's summoning the other thing, and then you can maybe even ignore the minions. If you want, you can ignore the first bloat that summons, just DPS down him again into the next phase, and then when that spawns, if you are mad enough, you could probably ignore that one, DPS him and phase him again as well. And if you can kill him before he absorbs all of the undead and heals up with an uber heal, then hell, you're freaking good to go. But that is probably the most efficient way to do it speed wise, but I don't do that, because if I do that, I die. So don't worry if you have to do it the way I do it. That's the way I do it, and I still get 2 runs an hour. Absolutely fine. Alright, so we've done the first 2 bosses, and after that is the Ambassador. Now, this is the difficult part of the dungeon. This is the final boss. This is like the final form of ED3. This is the bit where you need to have your DPS checks, and you need to be paying a lot of attention. This is the bit where I usually die. So, what you're going to want to do is make sure you go back to the bank, make sure you charge up your adrenaline, load a preset, and head back in here. Now guys, if you can get through this with a Ripper Demon, you're going to want to do that, and also you can bring the scrolls as well. Absolutely worth using on the Ambassador, in my opinion. Now, again, this isn't going to be a guide, so I'm not going to go massively in depth. I'm going to talk about the mechanics that will get you killed, things that you absolutely have to do in the fight, and basically just say what you have to do to actually even get through the kills. If you do want an actual guide where I talk about more in depth about what you need to do, then maybe just let me know in the comments and I will put one together for you guys. Anyway, so when you get here, start off by praying magic as you run down the ramp. Use your overloads, all that good stuff, get all buffed up, nice and strong. As once you walk through the barrier, he is going to fire off a big blue ball of light at you, which is a magic attack. When that hits, it's going to go back to range. So as soon as you take that magic hit, you're going to want to pray on your protect from range, and then you're going to want to drop your death swiftness and adrenaline potion, all of that great stuff. Fire off as much DPS as you can, as this is the DPS check. This part from now until phase 2 is the DPS check. So what he's going to do during phase 1 is every now and again he's going to fire off those blue balls of light, which is magic damage. So make sure you either pray for magic on those, or you can be super cool and throw on a resonance and keep on your range pray. This will heal you for around about 5k. It's really helpful, especially if you're on a Ripper Demon, so worth doing if you can. But in between that, he's also going to drop smokes on you, kind of like the ones in ED1. If you've seen those, you'll get a bar above your head, and then when that bar runs out, wherever you're stood, you're going to drop some smokes on the ground. So you're going to want to wait in an area away from where your death swiftness is, and as soon as you drop that, then you're going to want to move out of it and go back to DPSing the Ambassador. Next is going to be he will summon a portal somewhere in the room. You're going to want to use a stun on that. If you're using range, then of course binding shots, tight bindings, all that good stuff, magic. You can use your impact, deep impact if you really need to. If you've used your other ones, then asphyxiate, I suppose. Make sure you stun these. Try not to use your thresholds on them if you can. It doesn't matter about damage, it's purely stun them and it'll be gone. Next thing is going to be more smokes and more mage hits, stuff like that. But the main thing you're going to want to pay out attention for, and this is the bit that people kind of struggle with when you're learning, is at some point very soon he's going to stop attacking you and he will start talking some stuff above his head. But when you notice he does this, just look at him and find out where his back is. Stand in line with his back, as this will keep you safe. He's going to fire out like 3 big massive light beams, and if you're in these, you're dead. Pretty much, don't get in it, you're dead. When he does that, there's also going to be these little statue things go around the room. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but you're going to want to kill them off as fast as you can. Now, this is the bit that is like, if you don't do this, you're probably going to die in the next phase. So you can get away with one, maybe 2 at the most, but really you want to either get all of them or you want to leave at least 1. Like, honestly, if when I was learning, didn't get all but 1 or just get all of them, then I would just port out and reset the kill. So it might be worth doing the same thing, I suppose. But as you run around the room to kill these off, you're going to want to DPS them as fast as you can, moving on to the next one. Make sure you don't walk into the spinning smoke, and if you want to live. And once you've done with this, either you'll have 1 left or you will have killed them all. Let's just say you have 1 left, because otherwise, if you have killed them all, you don't have to worry about anything else. Just go back to DPSing, try and get to 550k, and then he is phased. However, if you get 1 left and it goes into him, you will notice it sort of like flies back across the room inside the ambassador, and it will say that he charged up 1 something, I don't know. What you're going to want to do is chuck on a shield and wait for a ranged hit to hit you. When the ranged hit hits you, just use resonance. This will reduce the big explosion that's about to come from that to 0, but he does 1 explosion for every little bit of that thing that goes into him. So if he gets 2 or 3, then he's just going to keep exploding and exploding, and it just really isn't worth doing at that point. So 1, you can just resonance, absolutely worth doing, absolutely fine. Other options is you could use disruption shield as well. Same way, make sure the range hit hits you, use disruption shield, and it will go down to 1 damage. So once that's done, back to DPS him. At this point, if you can, you want to get his health down to 550k. That will phase him into phase 2. If you don't quite reach that, he's just going to basically repeat the spinners. He's going to fire out the massive big spinning smoke things, and then he's going to fire out all the statues, go back round, kill them off, and then next time get him down to 550k. Ideally, you want to do this with just 1 cycle. If you have to do 2, don't worry, sometimes I do 2. It's definitely still possible. This may be the deciding factor whether you can do 2 kills an hour though, so, you know, it's not the end of the world, especially if you are learning to do 2 cycles. Eventually, you're going to get faster and do 1. After this, you're just going to keep DPSing, drop your death swiftness if you've got it, all that good stuff, and eventually you're going to have Seiryu fly in and kill off all of these little summons that he's brought, and he'll also heal you back to full health. So don't try and kill all the little minions that he does summon, because it's not worth doing. I don't think you can even kill them, to be fair. And then every now and again you're going to get the portals that I mentioned before. Make sure you stun those away, not a problem. Watch out for the magic hits, they are going to be coming every now and again as well also. And then after that, once you've DPSed him down enough again, he will go into phase 3. Phase 3 is the one where you can either get insta-killed if you don't know what you're doing, or you will be absolutely fine and you just need to DPS it down. So, a couple of things to note for phase 3. Basically, he is going to get really angry at you and do a lot more damage. He's going to keep hitting you, throwing off range hits, and around the room there's going to be these hands come out of the ground, hands that you're probably used to if you've done any of the other elite dungeons, and these will be firing in black and white smokes. These smokes will heal the ambassador, but you can get in the way and block them, but to be honest, you don't actually need to. You can if you don't have a death swift up or something like that, but it's not necessary. So what you're going to want to do is, again, just DPS as much as you can, keeping your range prayer on. Use the protect from magic whenever the blue balls come out, but at some point he's going to call out your name and he will say, for example for me, he will say, "Init, yeah, you will die." And at this point you're going to want to protect from magic, use devotion, and make sure that you keep that magic prayer on until all these little black smokes hit you, or until you see like the range hit coming back to you. Go back, protect from range. If you do not do that, if you don't do anything to reduce this damage from the magic hits, you will die. It does so much damage, you can't out-eat it. It is ridiculous. It does so much. You have to do that. Then you want to go back to DPSing. Once you've DPSed him down again, you will either get the kill, but if you're not as fast as you would like to be, then don't worry about it. You will get another one where he will say, "Init, yeah," or whatever your play name is, you will die, and he will fire off all the magic hits to you again. Your devotion will not be up this time. So you want to use debilitate, chuck on a shield, and use reflect, and just eat through it. You'll be fine as long as you've got those damage reductions. It will be absolutely fine. Just eat up, don't worry about it. DPS him down, that is the kill done. Frick, that was a long time. I feel like I'm out of breath now. But yeah, that's the ambassador very, very quickly. Guys, that is not a guide. This is not the best video to learn this off of. If you want to learn the mechanics individually and be told what you should do at what specific times, then look up an ambassador guide. I'm sure there's loads of good ones on YouTube. But just for the guys who wanted a quick sort of touch up on the mechanics and an idea of how to do it, there you go. Anyway, at this point, this is where you get your 1 bill drop. Like, it's going to be guaranteed for you guys on your first drop, right? If you're so lucky. My viewers are lucky as hell. I've seen you guys getting those drops. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And that is why ED3 is such good money. If you can do 2 of these an hour, 1 in 55 drop in solo, that is absolutely brilliant. You can be making 34 to 35 mil an hour solo without the 20% double chance. And if you do get it doubled, then that's even more, like literally just double the profit that you're making without it doubling. So absolutely great. Anyway, I've been told that I say absolutely actually too many times, and I think that's true, but oh well. That's going to be the end of the video, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed. I really hope you've learned something maybe, or if you weren't aware that ED3 is actually that good at the moment, then maybe you now realize where you should be going and spending a bit of your time. Absolutely worth learning. It's actually a really fun dungeon to run as well. I really enjoy the ambassador fight. I don't really enjoy the necromancer so much, but hey ho, it's not for everybody. But yeah, anyway, let's end the video. I really appreciate you all watching. Thank you all so much as always. If you enjoyed, don't forget, leave a like, do subscribe if you are new, and of course if you are interested, then just click that join button next to the subscribe button and have a look at the perks, and you can support the channel that way as well and get a few little benefits for yourself while you do so. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye. I just wanted to say an absolute huge thank you to my current channel members. We currently have Andy V, Griffo Tubes, and Sam. Thank you so much to all 3 of you guys. Really appreciate the support, and I hope that you're enjoying your perks. Anyway, if anyone else is interested in seeing what perks they do get from this, just press that join button next to the subscribe button, and you can see what perks you do get.